everyone, and welcome to the Canadian Film Forecast for the week of July 6th.
Yes.
Losing track of time here, honestly. I am Priya Rao, and I am joined with my colleagues from across the country. On the West Coast, we have Anita Adams and Catherine Broadsky. Hey, ladies.
Hello.
And right here in the T-dot, the 6, we've got the lovely Annalee Aboki. How goes it? It goes. Well, I hope it keeps going because we're going to start off with you, as we always do, our ear to the ground Canadian film correspondent. What's new these days with film, I mean?
Yeah, well, so just fresh out on digital is Jeff Barnaby's Blood Quantum and Semi Chellis's American Woman. So you can now find those. Coming out July 10th, with anticipation, we've got Volition. We also have a special Q&A that we will be doing on the 16th. So please tune in. We'll have Tony D. Smith and Ryan Smith along with the cast. So we encourage you to join our chat. We'll be on Facebook Live. That will be at 4 p.m. Pacific time and 7 Eastern Standard Time. Blah, blah, blah. Also, Adam Agoyan's Guest of Honor is coming out as well, July 10th. And I saw that Northern Banner is going to bring The Walrus and the Whistleblower. Oh my gosh. The Walrus and the Whistleblower. I'm not quite sure of the date, but it says it's coming to audiences. So I don't know if that's a coming soon. But also another coming soon is Jay Baruchel's Random Acts of Violence. So there's a lot to look forward to.
Interesting. Couple of things on a few of those titles. With Volition, yes, that's going to be a really fun Q&A. Especially interesting perhaps because, well, I'm hosting it, but not that reason, but because it's going to be all guys. So I'm going to be one of the boys for that chat, and that's going to be a lot of fun. See if I can hold my own. I think I can.
I'm sure you can. You'll whip those boys into action.
Exactly. And the other thing about Walrus and the Whistleblower, that was the big winner at Hot Docs this year. And we have a fabulous Q&A that we did with the director, along with the director of another Hot Docs film, which was called Meet the Future. So check that out on our Facebook page because two amazing women and two really, really interesting documentaries. Plus, on the Random Acts of Violence, I mean, usually I prefer Random Acts of Kindness, but I'm very curious about this film because Jay Baruchel is not the slasher film type. So I gotta say, I'm intrigued. Can't wait to watch it.
Gotta be some comedic edge happening there.
Yeah, I would think so. Or maybe even a dark slasher film. Maybe it's like dark comedy, I mean.
Yeah.
Anyways, we shall see. You guys should all find out too. Just keep an eye on it. Anita, we're going to go over to you next for your picks.
Awesome. Thanks, Priya. Well, I'm excited to hear about Jay Baruchel's latest film because as it happens, I chose a film that he co-wrote. It's a really fun film called Goon, directed by one of my favorite directors, Michael Dowse. And yeah, it's a funny film. I would actually say it's at once crude as well as charming. And those are not two words that you would commonly find in any film review, but it definitely holds true here. It's about this man, Doug Glatt, who's played by Sean William Scott. And he is a discontented bouncer at a local bar and basically an embarrassment to his very accomplished family. He's not overly bright, but he's incredibly lovable. And he has this dream to be a kind of success that is enjoyed by the minor league hockey players. And then chance happens to come his way one day when he's on the ice and he encounters another thug. And our character, he's not really a thug, but he's big and he's strong. And this guy picks a fight with him and he flattens him like that. And it just so happens that the coach of the Halifax Highlanders sees this fight and he sees potential in Doug as this mammoth-sized man who is going to be their next goon on their hockey playing team. And the only setback is that Doug has zero hockey playing skills. It is a delightful, fun film. Hockey fans will love it. And even if you're not into sports at all, I think you'll get a kick out of this film too. So long as you can handle all the F-bombs and the bloody faces from the fights that happen on the ice. You can find this film and its sequel, Goon: Last of the Enforcers, on Netflix. Now, the second film I have for you is like the complete opposite end of the spectrum, and that is Room. This is a Canadian, Ireland, UK, American co-production based on a novel of the same title. It stars Brie Larson as the woman who has been captive for several years and whose 5-year-old son, who's played by Canadian Jacob Tremblay, who was born in captivity. And the story is about their escape and how it allows the boy to experience the outside world for the first time. This film is a multi-award winning film that includes an Oscar for Best Actress for Brie Larson and Best Motion Picture at the Canadian Screen Awards. And that's just the beginning of the long list of many awards this film has been nominated for and received. You can find both of these films, Goon and Room, on Netflix. So I hope you'll find some time this week to enjoy them. Back to you, Priya.
Great choices. And little Jacob Tremblay, what a little movie star in the making he is, huh?
You got an opportunity to interview him, didn't you?
Did I? I don't think so.
Oh, I thought you did. Okay.
I did.
I spent a whole summer with him.
You did, Catherine?
Yeah, and a very different movie, but he's definitely very talented and very funny.
Yeah. I wonder what he looks like now. He was such an adorable little kid. I haven't seen him in
Still pretty adorable, but getting older, preteen, you know.
Thanks so much, Anita. And we'll just hand it over to you, Catherine, for the Broadsky report.
Thank you. And, Anita, love your movie recommendations. Both movies were terrific and very different, but great movies. So thanks for that. So I'm going to give you a little update on what's going on in the film landscape. So first of all, the Vancouver International Film Festival is going virtual this year. It's the 39th edition, and it's going to feature a program of 100 feature films, shorts, and panels that are all going to stream online from September 24th to October 7th. And as we get closer to those dates, we'll keep you updated on some highlights. But I'm glad it's happening, and people will be able to check it out. Although, not in person, but I'm sure it's going to still be a really interesting event to partake in.
And do you know, Catherine, if the panels, will there be a fee to access those panels? Do you have to buy a pass?
They haven't announced that yet, so I'm not quite sure. I know like the Toronto Film Festival, I think you do have to get a pass, but I'm sure they're still going to make probably some of them available for free or,
right.
And again, it's something that is now more accessible to more people too. So we'll see how it turns out. I know I was on, I participated in some Banff panels this year, and I've never been to Banff, and those were actually free. So that was pretty interesting to take part in. So there's some opportunities that weren't available previously, and it's great. Yeah. And speaking of more panels, so Women in Film and Television Vancouver, along with Women in Film Television Canada, and its subsidiaries, they're going to be holding a national panel on women in the screen-based industry. It's going to be taking place on Thursday, July 9th at 10 a.m. Pacific, 1 p.m. Eastern time, so depending on where you are. And the panel is going to include Amanda Tapping, as well as Juanita Peters and Bridget Monod. And I'm sorry if I butchered anybody's names. But you can find out more details at womeninfilm.ca and sign up to take part. And from what I understand, they're really hoping for it to be kind of an interactive panel and sort of a forum for women to share how they want the future to look like. And back to you, Priya.
Well, as a group of women here, we're always keen on seeing what the ladies get up to. So hopefully you'll be able to give us a follow-up report on some of those panels.
Sure.
Yeah. And I guess that is it for us this week. But I do want to mention that we have a new episode of our podcast up, which was hosted by Catherine, and it is a fabulous, really in-depth conversation on the art, the craft of screenwriting with guest Ilan Mastai. He's the writer of one of my favorite rom-coms of all time, The F Word. So you've got to check that out. You can check out either the video recording or the audio on our site. And we will see you next week, folks.
Yeah.
Until then, be sure to hashtag us, CDN Film Love, and follow us so you'll get all the information on the latest that's happening in the Canadian film industry. Talk to you later, ladies.
Bye. See you next time.
Bye.